Hey, hi everybody. How's everybody doing this morning? I thought I would come on because there's a lot of tension out there for a lot of reasons. As everybody knows, the jury is hi. Before we get started, let me just go ahead and say hi to everybody. Hi. Looks like Deb Ann had to take off, but we'll see her another day. Hi, Donna. Good to see you here. Thanks for coming in to be with us. Hi, Sunshine 5613. Good to see you. Hi, Vicky. Desert Dawn. Hi. Hi, Mojo. Oh, you left me a phone message, Mojo? It probably got sent to my assistant. Yes, I know. I'm terrible. I'm terrible that way. Hi, Teresa. Hi. Hi, Eileen. Hi, Melissa. Hi, Deb. Good to see you. I was looking at your homework last night, Deb. I'm teaching a class, HCRV 1 certification, remote viewing certification. So it's kind of fun. All right. So how are people feeling about the verdict? I guess there's enough of us now. We can start talking about it. You feeling like it's going to be good news, bad news, the same old, same old? I don't know. Well, I'm getting a ringing in the ear. So some tectonic plates are moving somewhere. I usually get that when we're about to have an earthquake. But anyway, so there are 3 counts against Chauvin, right? I went ahead and I did some research because what usually happens with me, excuse me, is that I will do a remote. I'll put myself in the shoes of the other. And then I'll try and see if I can get some emotions or feelings. There she is. Hi, Mila. Somebody had asked if you could come closer because they want to see you. She knows what we're doing here. She knows we're on TV. And she understands the whole concept because she loves television. And sometimes she likes to watch herself. She's also an Aries. So we both enjoy watching ourselves, analyzing ourselves, trying to figure it all out. So that's pretty cool. Anyway, when I went into the energy last night on the jury and I tried to make contact with the jury, a lot of people are worried about whether or not this congressperson said something and then that's going to pressure the jury, or this person said that and this is going to influence the jury. All I can tell you is the only thing I felt as a member of this jury doing when I did HCRV, when I put myself in the shoes of one of those jurors, I felt the horrible weight of condemning a man to death. Because even though he's not going to get the death penalty, it has a feeling of this man, the heavy weight of condemning another human being to a pretty horrible fate. And that was the number one feeling I felt as a juror. I felt the awesome responsibility and also the connection I felt with the other jurors that we were making a decision, a very, very painful decision that was going to put a man in prison for the rest of his life. All right, so the first count, I went ahead and Googled after that to find a little bit of information to try and sort out my emotions regarding the remote view. It looks like the counts become increasingly less. And it looks like what the prosecution is trying to do is they're trying to get him on something. If they can't get him on the first thing, they'll try and get him on the second. If they can't get him on the second, they'll try and get him on the third. So that seems to be what's going on. The first count is the most serious. It's second-degree unintentional murder, and it's can go up to 40 years in prison. So basically, you would die in prison. It basically is a death sentence. So if they say guilty on second-degree unintentional murder, he would get 40 years. If they also say the second thing is guilty third-degree murder, which is less than 25 years, and they would have to show ill intent because there's a sadistical aspect to third-degree murder. It's basically when you torture somebody and they die as a result of being tortured, but maybe murder wasn't your intent. So you can get less than 25 years for that. The final is second-degree manslaughter, which basically means you did not, your actions were irresponsible and took someone's life, but it was not intentional, and that's less than 10 years and a $20,000 fine. So those are the three things we're going to throw on. We'll do blitzes on all three of them, but I feel the weight. I can tell you in the room, I feel the weight, which has me leaning towards him being convicted of either the first or the second count. I did a little research on the jury, and it looks like the jury is made up of 4 white women, 2 white men, 3 black men, 1 black woman, and 2 mixed race individuals. I felt as one of the jurors like I was struggling with the third-degree murder of less than 25 years, because how can you prove intent was to torture? So that's the sticking point. You have to be able to get inside the head of the individual that this person was not intending to restrain, but to torture. So that's the sticking point that I felt for the second one. I felt more inclined to be guilty on the first count than on the second count. And I seem to be connecting with a white woman juror. She comes from the Midwest, and she seems to be able to simply look at the information. I thought if anybody was going to be the holdout, it was going to be her because of the energy of this individual, but she's leaning towards guilty of second-degree unintentional for up to 40 years. And the reason that this particular juror who I connected with did that was because she felt that it was actually even harder to prove the third-degree murder charge, and that it was obvious based on the film footage and the testimonies that he was guilty. So the 2 white men was interesting when I tried to remote view them. They also both felt like he was guilty, and it was for the first charge rather than the second. This is a very, much to my surprise, this jury really is just sticking to the facts. A lot of farmers. It felt like a farming community a little bit. Like a couple of them were kind of salt of the earth. Those are the facts. That's the case. How I personally feel about it is of no consequence. It really did feel that way. So that was good news. Anybody want to talk about it before we start to do the blitzes? Oh my goodness. Yeah, I usually don't come in the morning. I still haven't cleared my throat out. I'm still having my morning coffee. But I knew last night when I went into the energy that I had to, I was going to do something last night. I was going to go online and do a groggy remote, which I sometimes do because I try to race. It's called racing the remote. A lot of you who've been with the channel for a long time know what I mean. Racing the remote is when you have a pretty good idea you're right, and you try to document before it becomes public information. It's kind of funny. Fentanyl Floyd, not guilty, free Chauvin. Yeah, I don't think that you're the kind of person that it's going to be happy here, Fentanyl Floyd. So, yeah, time to go. Yeah, let's be aware of trolls. Okay, are we ready for blitzes? Let's do this. All right. Who said that? I'm getting downloads of some of your thoughts, and some of them are very funny. Okay, let's do this. All right, I want to call on white light protection for myself in this community as we ask permission from Spirit to access the Akashic records. We call on our spirit guides and good angels to be with us. Give us the clarity and the wisdom that is needed to empower all of us on our journey to make the best decisions for ourselves, our families, for the planet, for the people we love, but also to help those we may have strife with. And together we say, Amen. Okay, so I'm just going to see how Derek Chauvin is going to be doing over the next few days. I'm just going to do his personal cards to see how he's doing emotionally. I want to change this up so that you all can see me a little better here. Here we go. Yeah, hi, baby. Yeah, there you are. Pretty cool, huh? You like being a famous cat? Huh? Not every cat gets to be famous. Yeah. Okay, things are happening quickly. There's people, I know some people were worried about a hung jury, but angry, volatile energy is the karma, right? So when we think about the Knight of Swords, it's an angry energy, it's volatile, it can be a police raid, it can also be like violent, irrational behavior. So there are consequences, right? Because it's in the karma card. You know, I mean, it's in the position of karma. So there is some kind of karma associated with irrational, erratic, violent behavior. So his actions will have karmic consequences. Does everybody see this? And the summary is quick, right? 8 of Wands can be a quick resolution. Okay, so 4 of Swords is the card. I'm trying to make sure everybody sees. Oh, I hope we're not looking at a hung jury. I know people were worried about a hung jury. 4 of Swords can be a waiting. King of Wands, which is the leader, right? It's Yehuda, the archetype of Yehuda. There's grief here. You know, he thinks a lot about his marriage. This is his wife's card in relationship to him. It's interesting. Walking away. That has me a little nervous because walking away may indicate that he gets off. See, this is what I don't like about these cards. but it's also walking away from everything you've built. Where he's at, the tower is about to hit, or the tower is hitting him in relationship to others, the sword of truth. So the jurors have the sword of truth, his hope and his fear, the hidden information. And then the final outcome for him, judgment. A judgment is coming. The clarification for Chauvin. There's a tower over him. What is around him? See, jurors tormented about their decision. The hope and the fear, strength. And then the final outcome, peaceful in the garden. I feel like this verdict is going to come soon. I'm going to do each count. Oh. Honey, we have to move you so that you're like that, so that you don't. Here you go. Here you go like that. Okay. Here you go. Yeah. They need to see you. You're more important than me. Hi, Eileen. Hi, Richard. Okay, so we're going to check to see the results for the count. This is second-degree unintentional murder, which carries up to 40 years. We're going to see what the cards look like for the verdict. Thank you, Connie Brown. I love Paul Simon. He's my everything. He is my everything. All right. Chauvin and the first count. There could be one holdout. Somebody, a woman with a heart of gold, could be, there could be they could be undecided on the first count because of this individual. You can see here, somebody's holding out, a woman is demanding to see more evidence before she convicts. So there's one individual. Look, it's very heavy to send somebody to prison for 40 years. So people want to make absolutely sure that they're making the right decision. These are mothers, you know, this is mother energy, compassion. Sometimes compassion's not our friend. Yeah, we could have a problem with a conviction due to a holdout. On the first one. Let me see about the second. Will he get third-degree murder of less than 25 years? Okay, jury is confused. Sun coming out, 6 of Cups, the verdict and evidence. There's the evidence against him. Huh. the ethos. Huh. 10 of Cups. Let me do 4 cards. This looks see, his cards are not that bad. That's the problem. All right, will he get a second count? Will he get third-degree murder conviction? Third-degree murder. What is the strife card? Damn it. There's a woman on the jury. She should not be a juror. This is one of those situations where there's just too much compassion. You know, it's like sometimes you have to make tough decisions, and I'm not sure everyone is able to live with themselves knowing they sent somebody to die in prison, whether it's true or not, or whether this individual deserves it. This keeps coming up. It's something about the facet of this individual, and it's a problem. Let me check the second-degree manslaughter, which is less than 10 years. You know, he could wind up guilty of second-degree manslaughter, $20,000 fine, less than 10 years. You know, get out in 4 to 6 on good behavior and win an appeal in 6 months in the worst case scenario, because we have physical death here. This is somebody who is contemplating like physical death. And a healing offer, right? And then victorious in 6 months. So this could be someone who this is someone who certainly intends to appeal, whether they win the appeal or not. He will lose his appeal. He's going to be found guilty of something. I think he's going to be found guilty of something. I think he's going to attempt to appeal. I think that his appeal is going to be rejected. I think that it's hard to get the harder sentences because there are some holdouts. I think there's displaced empathy based on those cards. Yesterday, when they did it, when they voted, they vote and then they'll discuss what the holdouts are. It looked like I had on the first charge, second degree or unintentional murder, I had 8 yes, 4 no, or 4 that were undecided. So that's probably, they have to then go over the material to find out why those 4 people said not guilty, why those 8 people said guilty. So I'm curious to find out how long it's going to take before yeah. Let's What was the next thing we were going to be looking at? There was something else I wanted to look at. I can't remember. Okay. Let me just see. When the verdict is coming in. That was what I wanted to check. When is this verdict coming in? You don't feel sorry for him. Yeah, I don't have any. He's one of the few times I've done a target where there was not a lot of empathy to latch onto, because this was somebody who felt so fed up and disgusted that he just didn't care what other people thought. So, all right, let's see if the verdict's coming in soon. No, she's not going to fall. It's just the angle of the camera. She's fine. All right, how long will this be? When will the verdict be? When will the Chauvin verdict come out? Doesn't make sense. I can't get it. I can't get it. I mean, I got to go again. What do you think? You think he's a sociopath? I think it's pretty obvious this guy's a sociopath. When is the verdict coming in? And what will it be? Let's just pull 4 again. What will the verdict be? There's the verdict. Confusion. Yeah, there was a lot of confusion that had to be clarified. Justice will be served, right? The truth coming out. Yeah, he's going to get convicted probably because dancing in the streets and celebration. I'll be surprised if he's found guilty on the 2nd degree with unintentional murder, just because. But I think, you know, what's interesting is that when you go into the remote last night, that feeling, it was almost like a condemned man being marched to his death, which leads me to think that this guy's not going to get off. If I was just to go with the remote and not with the cards, based on the emotional feeling in the room as a remote viewer, I would say that it's very fatalistic. It's very, imagine being in that shoe. It would not be something that, imagine being in those shoes. You would not be as flippant as you think you would be. The weight of the world you have somebody's life in your hands, and hopefully you would take it seriously, and you would want to look at all the evidence and do everything in your power to make sure that there was no reasonable doubt that you didn't look at. That would be your responsibility before you condemn someone to prison for 40 years. So I just think that as the jury, no matter how badly I want to help this individual, the evidence is simply irrefutable that he's guilty. And so that's why it's a heavy feeling in the room, that we all know what we have to do. And I think we're all coming to the same conclusion. That's my feeling as I sit in this room as a juror. And this feeling is so strong, I would not be surprised if he was guilty of for up to 40. It's a very heavy energy. Okay. Yeah, it's tough to be a juror. Well, Melissa, yes, we could have a live either to celebrate or to cry. The thing is that there are a lot of other readers. So I try not to go. I try to let other readers, I try to make sure everybody gets time. I was going to go on Sunday, but then I remembered that Thoreau's Apprentice and that whole gang like to get together on Sunday. So, yeah. Yeah, face painter. This is not the first time. He has a long history of these types of problems. Yes, Connie Brown, the judge will make the final decision. If he feels that it's too excessive, he will drop. It's up to 40 years and no less than, say, 20 or something like that. Then he would have to do the minimum amount. But the feeling in the room is that we're sending this man to his death. So if you're sending somebody to their death, that would mean either the first or second count. Yeah, they can refuse to see an appeal. Your appeal has to be taken up. All right, let's look at the judge. All right, the judge. There's no opposition from the judge with the verdict. The desire of the judge is that the law be practiced as it's intended, because you can see here the strength card with the judge. Things begin to move. a solid partnership between him and the jury. The case moves on smoothly. Could also mean that the defendant is physically moved. Let me do a clarification. I think, you know what this reminds me of? Do you know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of Lady Catherine Howard being sent to the Tower to be executed. Catherine Howard, who was, I believe, what was she? She was the fourth or fifth wife of King Henry VIII. Second was Anne Boleyn. Then was Lady Jane, who died, right? Then fourth was Parr, I like her not. Oh, it was the fifth wife. All right. So the fifth wife gets sent to the Tower of London, but she was brought by boat. And it was a very solemn thing because the boatman brought her to the Tower, and there she stayed until she awaited her execution with her various different assistants, you know, etc. It was, you know, there's a solemnness to this when you're taking someone to their death. That's the thing about Chauvin. It doesn't feel like serving prison. I'm sorry, sweetie. You are a little lopsided. Sorry. You were lopsided. It does feel like sending someone to their death or feeling like he is not ever coming out of there. The ethos. The fate of this individual is not good because he's so far gone down the rabbit hole, Chauvin, that where he's going, his future is uncertain. It does feel like it's the end of the line for Chauvin. Yeah, Catherine Parr. Yes, he almost killed her. He brought people to haul her off. Because he found her annoying, Catherine Parr, because she was always lecturing him about the Bible. She was very religious. So to get her to shut up, he sent guards to haul her off to the Tower. Yeah, that's one way to get your wife to shut up, right? She's talking too much. Well, what do you say, folks? Should we call it a day? I've got patients today. I got to work today, but I just thought I would come on quickly to take a look at Chauvin. And yeah, it's not, his cards are not good. And the feeling in the room with the jury is not good as well. All right, so I think we're going to call it a day. I just wanted to hang for about 30 minutes, 30, 40 minutes. Did everybody have fun? Not really. It's kind of a depressing subject. Thank you, fairies and angels. All right. So the last bit of business before we close today is, how does everybody like having a join button? Does everybody like having the tears? Does everybody, thank you, Barbara, for becoming a fairy and angel. Does everybody like this, or do you want me to cut the join button and have everything just be people pay what they can afford? I'm a little weary about HCRV because if anybody and everybody can just come watch HCRV classes, that just doesn't feel right. So I think I'm going to take a poll and see if we're going to discontinue the join and just do it that way. HCRV doesn't feel right to me. What doesn't feel right? You mean just opening it up to everybody right now? Okay. So I think let's go ahead. We're going to do a poll. I think I'll keep the HCRV class for a join because after the first 10 weeks, and then I might bring the price up, and hopefully I can get some good things organized. I agree in that point. Whimsy, only certain people should do HCRV. Yeah, HCRV, not for everybody. It just puts a lot of pressure on me to come up with content, and then I'm concerned because as soon as you put money into it, it's like, oh my God, am I doing this right? Is everybody happy with what they're paying for? And that just creates a lot of unnecessary anxiety. At the same time with HCRV, yeah, Sean, a lot of people have, and also people have complained that they don't want a larger group because right now it's 150 students, and the live classes, it's usually between 50 and 100. So that's a good size class where you can answer, I don't know. Oh, thank you, Jackie. Oh, thank you, Melissa. All right. So yeah, it's something we'll do a poll on. I think that what people are leaning on is that HCRV should be private. And I think that the HCRV practitioners are also feeling that way because, it's your future profession or it's your current profession. And yeah. Yeah, HCRV is affordable. It's $6.99, and that's because this is the first time we've ever certified. I would like to get together with people who are interested in, who really want to turn this into like a school or something like that, and get teaching material and I guess we would have to trademark. So it's kind of cool with the it's cool with the first class because we're all kind of doing this together for the first time. Earlier, okay, well, we can work that out too. I'm creating a certification. This has never been done before. HCRV has never been taught like this. It's all very exciting. All right. Take care, everybody. I don't want to take everyone's time up talking about this. I will see you all tonight at 6 p.m. for HCRV class. The class is live at 6 p.m. Tuesday and Sunday. Bye, everyone. See you later.